I know, I'm late. Start the credits. 2024, what a year. After consuming over 160 films from last year, finally done, so I can finally do my best of 2024. It's not the Oscars, it's the Shanies. We'll call them the Shanies. Let's get right to it. First, we're going to start off with honorable mentions. These are the 5 films that didn't make the cut. Chime from Japanese master Kiyoshi Kurosawa. It's only 45 minutes, but this man can make anything scary. Flow, the Academy Award-winning animated film about a cat. I love cats, and I love this. Hard Truths. Mike Leigh is one of the best directors of all time with actors. Marianne Jean-Baptiste should have been nominated and should have won the Oscar. Close Your Eyes. Spanish auteur Victor Erice's probably final film is a love letter to filmmaking. And The Seed of the Sacred Fig. It's a miracle this was made in Iran. It starts as a domestic drama and slowly becomes a thriller. But now let's get to the top 10. Number 10 on my list, the documentary Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat. Now, this might seem like a eat your vegetables type of documentary. It's about the power of black music, specifically jazz, and how it was co-opted by governments all across the world. It's mostly a combination of archive footage and photographs and music, but it is riveting, giving us an alternative history of not just pop culture, but of the black experience. It's not only one of the best documentaries, it's one of the best films, and one of the best edited, though it might lose out to number 9. Number 9 is probably the most entertaining movie of last year, Challengers. Yes, Luca Guadagnino's ode to tennis and thruples was electric, not just because of the kinetic tennis scenes, but because of the chemistry from its 3 lead stars. Its twisty screenplay pulled us back and forth, but at the center is Zendaya in her best movie star performance yet. On just a pure fun level, Challengers, number 9. Not to be outdone in the entertainment department is number 8, Anora. Yes, the Academy Award winner for Best Picture is actually one of the more deserving films from last year. Sean Baker has truly come into his own as an auteur, highlighting stories of people on the margins, the outcasts, and at the center is Mikey Madison, giving a revelatory performance. Her Anora is hard to love, but easy to like, and we follow her on this modern-day Cinderella story as she impulsively tries to get her piece of the American dream. It's sobering and funny and ultimately heartbreaking. We're going from pure entertainment to almost anti-entertainment with number 7, The Girl with the Needle. This is probably the most miserable movie of last year, but it's never not compelling. This drama set in 1919 Copenhagen follows a woman who's struggling to make ends meet, and at every turn society seems to push her down until she meets a woman who gives her a job helping young women get abortions. What starts as a poetic black and white film quickly takes a disturbing turn. This is one of the few films last year to make me gasp, but it's ultimately a life-affirming story. It's tough getting there, but it's definitely rewarding. But gasps have nothing on my number 6, the French-Canadian thriller Red Rooms. What feels like just a true crime case in the vein of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo soon takes a more sinister turn as our heroine, a model with mysterious resources who is prone to going down internet rabbit holes, goes deeper down into the abyss and the dark web. This is a thriller with no violence, no sex, nothing explicit on screen, and yet it's one of the most disturbing films I've seen maybe in the last decade. It's all about what you don't see, and it truly captures what it's like to fall down into the internet, to lose your sense of reality, and to lean into the darker instincts of human nature. This is definitely one to watch with the lights off, and then immediately after it's over, turn them on, and maybe watch some cartoons after. We're in the top 5, and if Red Rooms showed us one of the best depictions of internet rabbit holes, I Saw the TV Glow shows us one of the best depictions of nostalgia rabbit holes. This is the type of film that lingers in your mind, not just because of the amazing aesthetics and how it captures the 1990s fandom, cult TV shows, and adolescence, but also because director Jane Schoenbrunn has something to say. They have dug inside their brain and pulled out their childhood, all the fears, anxieties, and curiosities that define them, and somehow translate it onto screen. This is one of the best depictions of 2000s suburbia and one of the best depictions of what it's like to hold on to a piece of pop culture and to let it define your identity. The film is a bit of a head scratcher, but it's hypnotic and it keeps you thinking about it days, even months after. I know I have. And number 4 is another film that I can't shake from my mind. It's the best documentary of last year, No Other Land. A collective of Israeli and Palestinian filmmakers chronicled just some of the human rights abuses going on in the West Bank. At the center, it's a story of maintaining your home, your family, and your identity in the face of oppression. The footage captured by the filmmakers here is staggering, frustrating, but ultimately truthful. This really is a definitive document of the ongoing conflict. I challenge anyone to watch this and not form a more humanistic opinion about what's going on. And speaking of humanism, number 3, the most monumental film of last year, The Brutalist. Brady Corbet's over 3-hour epic about art versus capitalism was truly a monumental achievement, not only because of its gorgeous VistaVision cinematography, but also because of Adrian Brody's totally embodied performance. And for just a minuscule budget of $10 million, Corbet brings together all his filmmaking know-how and resources to craft something that feels lived in, poetic, and socially conscious about the immigrant experience. I was never not captivated by this film. The 3 hours flew by, and if you still haven't given it a chance, please do. If The Brutalist was monumental on the art house side, then my number 2 is monumental on the blockbuster side. Yes, number 2, Dune Part 2. There really was no bigger film last year than the second chapter of Denis Villeneuve's first adaptation of Dune. This is a film made for IMAX, which is where I saw it, and it's probably coloring my opinion a little bit, but the combination of star power, cinematography, visual effects, sound, and music was just a legendary experience. This is a sequel that delivered on all fronts. It felt bigger and better, more purposeful, but it never sacrificed the intimacy of the storytelling. It truly is one of the best adaptations I've seen in quite a while. And Denis Villeneuve has crafted 2 sci-fi films that will stand the test of time. That brings me to my number 1, which is the best adaptation of last year, and which I truly think is a film, like Dune Part 2, that will stand the test of time. My number 1 film of 2024 is Nickel Boys. Ramel Ross's adaptation of the Colson Whitehead novel is a tremendous work of adaptation and a risky piece of artistic filmmaking. The best art is not only rewarding, it's alienating. And by shooting this story in the POVs of its characters, it definitely turned off a segment of audiences, but it marks it as a truly daring piece of filmmaking that I think people will be studying for years to come. In the story of human rights abuses at a reform school in Florida, we truly understand what filmmaking is as an empathy tool because of Ross's exceptional direction and guidance of the actors and adaptation of this novel. This film feels like stepping into someone else's shoes. That includes all of the anxieties and the triumphs and the heartbreak that would entail. Nickel Boys took a few viewings to understand all of its power and a reading of the novel, but I truly believe Nickel Boys is the best film of 2024. It is an immortal piece of art. Woo! Well, that does it for 2024. I can finally put a bow on it and get back to 2025. I'd like to thank all the winners of the Shanies, especially Nickel Boys, the number 1 of 2024. If you like this video, please like and subscribe or follow me on Letterboxd at RamirezS316. Let's hope 2025 measures up to some of the greats of 2024.